The massive cyan wolf bursts through the vine wall, slams onto the grass and pins Su Ping beneath its colossal paws, fur smearing his face as the meadow trembles. The massive cyan wolf bursts through the vine wall, slams onto the grass and pins Su Ping beneath its colossal paws, fur smearing his face as the meadow trembles. A bare meadow erupts. Massive trunks, each as wide as a man's waist, burst from the earth in all directions. Branches snap outward like whips, and within a dozen heartbeats the open field swells into a tangled 50-meter jungle, leaves rustling in a sudden wind. Atop the newly sprouted canopy, a towering wolf cloaked in foliage perches. Two Y-shaped branch horns crown its head like a mythical Kylan. It surveys the forest it has just willed into being, eyes fixed on the slim young man standing at the heart of the trees. A month earlier, the same beast lay dying, its fur mottled and eyes dim. Its master, a fresh graduate with no reputation, receives the keys to a crumbling wolf-breeding base on the city's edge. The wolf's breath fades as the young man steps forward, determination hardening his jaw. The outskirts of Linzhou City stretch beneath a gray sky. The Lingxi River snakes past a weathered estate. A faded wooden sign hangs crooked over the gate. The characters reading Heart of Wood's Pet Beast Breeding Base. A bus pulls up, and Su Ping steps down, pulling a key from his pocket and unlocking the front door. Inside, the living room is stark and empty. On a low coffee table lies a handwritten note in Su Ping's father's script. Gone north to Beihai City to meet stepmother. The base is now yours. A jade-green whelp rests inside its glass cradle, the first contracted beast awaiting its turn in the hatching room. The jade-green whelp remains poised in its cradle, still the first contracted beast awaiting activation. The incubator glows softly, its gentle green light filling the room. A soft green radiance continues to emanate from the incubator, casting a calm hue over the space. A single whelp stirs within its glass cradle, its fur a deep, lush jade green, smooth as living jade. The whelp continues to shift within the cradle, its jade-green fur shimmering with each subtle movement. It lifts its head, round black eyes locking onto Su Ping's gaze. The whelp raises its head, its eyes meeting Su Ping's stare as the incubator's light glints off its jade fur. Su Ping lifts a sleek communicator. His father's voice crackles, laughing about the whelp's mutated bloodline, wood purifying into poison. Su Ping raises his communicator, its screen flashing as his father's voice jokes about the whelp's lineage. 12 million offered. The father jokes, his voice echoing through the incubator's soft glow. The joking voice repeats, 12 million offered, resonating in the quiet chamber. Su Ping's expression hardens. He shakes his head. His hardened expression remains as he continues to shake his head in quiet refusal. He says firmly, "It's my son's first beast." His voice resolute. His declaration echoes, "It's my son's first beast." Spoken with unwavering confidence. Without hesitation, Su Ping slides the soul contract into the slot, his resolve evident as the jade-green whelp watches from its cradle. Su Ping's hand glides the soul contract into place, the contract's edge catching the incubator's light as the whelp remains still. The moment the bond clicks, Xiao Qing's body shimmers, muscles tightening as a faint aura surrounds the whelp. The bond clicks and the whelp's body shimmers, its muscles tightening visibly under the sudden aura. Su Ping whispers Xiao Qing, his voice barely audible as the name reverberates through the humming air. Su Ping whispers Xiao Qing, the name echoing in the humming air as he gently touches the incubator. A sudden flash of light floods Su Ping's mind as the myriad spirit beast atlas opens on its own, illuminating the room. A sudden flash of light floods Su Ping's mind as the myriad spirit beast atlas opens on its own, casting radiant patterns across the incubator. Pages flip wildly until the forest wolf catalog blazes white, spilling luminous glyphs across his vision. Pages flip wildly, the forest wolf catalog blazes white, and luminous glyphs spill across his vision. The catalog's entry for Forest Wolf ignites, a golden badge flashing origin reward, Eye of Truth, and a surge of power courses through Su Ping. his eyes flickering with newfound insight. The catalog entry ignites, a golden badge flashes, and Su Ping feels a surge of power, his eyes flickering with insight. He turns the radiant sight onto Xiao Qing, directing the glowing analysis toward the whelp. He turns the radiant sight onto Xiao Qing, the beam bathing the whelp in a bright analysis. The display reads the variant's attributes, and Xiao Qing's aura pulses, confirming its extraordinary nature. The display shows the variant's attributes, and the whelp's aura pulses, confirming its extraordinary nature. The catalog's rules cascade through his mind, a silent torrent of directives. Interact, raise intimacy, enhance the beasts until the system flashes a level up, promising rewards from the origin. Every wolf in the base now glints with hidden value, a subtle shimmer that hints at untapped potential. In his father's old study, Su Ping pulls a yellowed manual from a dusty shelf, the title Forest Wolf Breeding Manual with the Heart of Wood's magic potion recipe, glinting in the lamplight, and he flips to the page. His eyes scan the cryptic formula that promises a rare wood skill with a 1% success rate, each symbol burning into his memory. The atlas reacts instantly, a holographic prompt appearing, recipe incomplete. Spend 285 catalog experience to perfect Heart of Woods? Su Ping nods, confirming the expenditure. The recipe rewrites itself, flashing a new ingredient. Wolf tobacco reeking, hallucinogenic weed that chokes firefighting beasts. The magic potion workshop is a pristine white chamber, its surfaces gleaming under immaculate lighting. A roaring cauldron bubbles, toxic smoke curling upward in thick, dark tendrils. Su Ping, masked behind a gas filter, hefts a half-meter pestle and grinds the ingredients with rhythmic force. Dark green liquid finally oozes from the valve, pooling in a crystal vial. A massive cyan wolf bursts through a wall of vines, landing with a thunderous thud that shakes the meadow. It pins Su Ping to the grass, its massive paws smearing his face as the wolf's weight bears down. The beast is Old Sha, the commander-level wolf king his grandfather raised, the oldest kin of the family. At dawn, Su Ping gathers the pack in the meadow, raising the finished potion aloft. Old Sha closes his eyes and lets out a mournful howl, as if confronting his own execution by his beloved master. A dark green jelly falls into Old Sha's throat. Emerald light erupts, and vines burst from the earth in radiant green. The pack recoils in terror as a surging aura envelopes Old Sha, the Wolf King. The Eye of Truth flashes, announcing Old Sha now carries the Heart of Woods, while triumph flares in Su Ping's eyes. It is realized that a forest wolf with this skill is worth 3 to 5 times a normal one. Xiao Qing perches on Su Ping's arms and lets out a tiny cry. Thin purple vines shoot up from the soil, coiling around a nearby pup. The whelp has learned vine strangling from a single glance, mutating it into poison vine strangulation. In a swift test battle, the weakest pup charges Xiao Qing, only to be instantly bound by the purple barbs. Venom floods its veins, paralytic poison draining its strength until it collapses in a heap. Su Ping scoops the limp pup, carries it to the medical room, and administers an antidote. He cradles the creature, whispering little ones, and vows at Heart of Woods, "I'll give up on no one." A close-up of a ledger shows the cost. A single dose of the potion requires 200,000 in materials. Su Ping's hand hovers over the last of his cash, then slides it into a newspaper ad, the headline promising a chance to cultivate the rare Heart of Woods in Forest Wolves. The Yuntian Pet Beast Combat Resort towers beside the base. Its 8-story glass tower surrounded by manicured gardens and sleek villas, bathed in the muted light of the late afternoon. At the top floor, Dong Muyun, the chairwoman of the Tianyun Group, stands before a floor-to-ceiling glass wall, her gaze locked on the scrolling Heart of Woods data. Dong Muyun declares her identity, confirming she is the chairwoman of the Tianyun Group. Her voice echoes through the empty conference room, describing a hidden spatial signal and a predecessor's secret realm that may emerge on the land. Dong Muyun gestures, prompting manager Guan to step forward, tasked with buying Su Ping out. Back at the base, Su Ping carefully pours the potion into the little whelp's mouth. The pup erupts, swelling rapidly as the heart of woods awakens, its form expanding through 3 stages. Then Xiao Qing's turn arrives, the whelp poised for the next phase. The green light in the incubator deepens to a forest green hue as Su Ping sweats over the life monitor. The whelp emerges transformed, its aura now bearing the mutated poisonwood heart, its potential leaping from elite to commander. The atlas flickers, displaying analysis of the mutation and awarding 50,000 experience points. Su Ping hesitates, then declines, his resolve remaining unshaken. Manager Guan arrives, gagging at the pungent scent, and presses again to purchase the family land. Su Ping smiles politely, deflecting each offer with a calm wave of his hand. The newspaper ad flops. Local media remains silent, and no one trusts an uncertified teenager. Yet the catalog continues climbing, its glow intensifying with each interaction. The pack's intimacy meter inches toward the next threshold. Only a single wolf remains to unlock the catalog's next level, hinting at Su Ping's rising destiny. The doorbell clangs repeatedly, echoing through the sun-bleached courtyard for nearly an hour. Qin Xiaoxue, furious, steps forward, sunglasses reflecting the glare, and shouts, "What kind of base makes a client wait out here in the sun?" A voice cuts through the heat, declaring, "I'm here for Heart of Woods." The camera tightens on Qin Xiaoxue's clenched jaw, the muscles tightening with resolve. Su Ping steps into the doorway, his posture relaxed, and replies, "I am the breeder." Qin Xiaoxue scoffs, eyes narrowed at the boy who smells faintly of wolf dung, and turns to leave. Su Ping blocks her path, holding out a contract. "If the skill isn't cultivated, you pay nothing, no cent for materials." Qin Xiaoxue freezes, eyes widening at the no-win, no-pay terms. The camera shifts to an over-the-shoulder view of the contract, the parchment's ink crisp against the paper. She signs. The camera pans to Woodhead, an elite peak giant wolf, towering beside them, its fur rippling as it demonstrates the rare forest concealment technique, one of 7 mastered skills. Su Ping watches, realization dawning that he has badly undersold himself. The camera captures a low angle on Woodhead's poised stance, emphasizing its majestic height. A montage shows the 5-day cultivation beginning. Qin Xiaoxue summons a sleek magnetic levitation sports car, its chassis humming, and speeds away toward the city skyline. The camera tracks the car as it streaks past neon billboards, leaving trails of light. Qin Xiaoxue bursts through the polished doors of the Beast Master Association's top office, her determined stride cutting the quiet of the hallway. President Qin Erlong startles, his hand jerking upward and his tea teetering on the edge of the porcelain cup. Qin Xiaoxue slams the polished desk, demanding the prized spiritual ancient tea, then casually mentions a remote base that claims it can teach a forest wolf the heart of woods. Qin Erlong's eyes widen in disbelief as the accusation sinks in. Qin Erlong's trembling hands are captured in a medium shot, the fingers clenched around the cup as his grip falters. Days pass at the Heart of Woods facility, the quiet hum of incubators filling the air. The catalog screen flickers, climbing to entry 499 of 500. Only the final elite wolf's intimacy slot remains. Su Ping rides the last wolf through a mist-filled forest, kneeling to feed it by hand until the bond clicks, and the catalog flashes, level 2. A close-up captures the glowing catalog, its emerald light pulsing against the darkened forest. A notification bursts on the screen, and Su Ping's eyes light up with excitement. He gathers his 15 best wolves, positions them under a blazing sun, and they all train sunlight absorption together. In 2 hours, Xiao Qing levels up, the skill reaching proficient, while Woodhead watches, mouth slack. A wide shot shows the wolves basking under the sun's flares, their silhouettes outlined against the bright sky. Su Ping's mind races, envisioning a new business model built on the shared skill mechanic. Woodhead's intimacy finally meets the threshold, a faint glow pulsing along its fur. Su Ping pours the last potion into Woodhead's mouth, and the Heart of Woods awakens within the proud giant. Su Ping taps his wrist-mounted communicator, sending a brief text to Qin Xiaoxue. His eyes narrowed with resolve. Qin Xiaoxue arrives at the meadow flanked by Qin Erlong, Vice President Liu, and Sun Chaoju, their steps echoing on the soft earth as they approach the gathering. The group steps inside the clearing and freezes as Woodhead, the massive wolf, squats obediently and lifts his head to lick Su Ping's outstretched palm. Sun Chaoju's eyes flare bright with the eye of truth, a sharp amber light reflecting in his gaze. A soft green aura labeled Heart of Woods, Beginner, radiates from Woodhead's massive form, illuminating his fur. A shocked voice cries, "How is this possible?" echoing through the clearing. Refusing to accept the result, Sun Chaoju gestures forward, summoning a massive cloud-patterned tree python that coils around Woodhead for inspection. The elder's sharp commands force Sun Chaoju to withdraw the serpent, sweat beading on his forehead as he lowers his hand. Su Ping adopts a cold, proud demeanor, his shoulders squared and eyes fixed ahead. A digital chime signals that the payment of 5,000,000, after tax has cleared. He smiles faintly, feeling the weight of the newly secured funds in his pocket. Sun Chaoju boasts loudly, "I can raise Woodhead's self-healing from beginner to proficient in a month." But Su Ping cuts him off with a sharp, "half a month." The tension in the air rises, the stakes of the upcoming duel becoming palpable. If Su Ping wins, Sun Chaoju must forfeit both his accelerated casting method and his incomplete Wanmu Wolf evolution method. Vice President Liu watches the duel intently and promises Su Ping an intermediate breeder certificate on the spot, dangling a senior breeder rank if the Wanmu Wolf evolution is ever perfected. Later, alone, Qin Xiaoxue gently pours a steaming cup of spirit-nurturing ancient tea into Su Ping's waiting hands. By nightfall, Su Ping's meditation surges, propelling him from ordinary 5th rank to 7th in a single afternoon. Qin Xiaoxue leans close and whispers a strategic tip to Su Ping about choosing a plant or undead beast for future meditation arts. Qin Xiaoxue issues a hushed warning, "Tell no one." A flashback shows Su Ping beneath the towering canopy, where the massive wolf Old Sha perches, and Su Enyong holds a set of ancient keys. The Beast Master Association Tower dominates the city skyline. A golden dragon coils around its peak. Inside, Qin Erlong watches his granddaughter Qin Xiaoxue with suspicion and quietly makes a phone call to the old family madam. The flashback ends, returning focus to the present. Night training intensifies with the assembled participants pushing their limits. Su Ping expands his bonding share to 17 wolves, dividing the pack between absorbing hits and practicing self-healing in darkness. A graduation reunion descends on Yuntian, gathering Li Shu, Zhou Shuchen with his Crimson Fang Tiger, Yin, Director Zhang, and Jin Cheng. Zhou Shuchen sneers. Su Ping has sunk to renting out trash forest wolves for pocket change. The temperature drops. Woodhead instantly cloaks itself in wood armor, appearing at Zhou's chest in a blink. Wood spike claws hover a half-inch from his heart. The camera adopts a low wide angle. Behind Qin Xiaoxue, a 3-meter monarch-level life ancient tree erupts, its ancient face calm within the trunk, an endless life aura bleeding into the air. The crowd backs away in terror. Su Ping brushes away the looming threat, letting the trembling Zhou Shuchen keep his life. The lesson concludes in the conference hall. Li Shu rushes over, throws an arm around his foster father Su Ping, and clumsily tries to charm the woman who just summoned a monarch beast. Desperate to save face, Zhou Shuchen challenges Su Ping to a beast duel. Su Ping fields the little ones, beasts not even his contracted animal. The Crimson Fang Tiger pounces, wreathed in flaming pounce. Little ones swell with accelerated growth to the size of a small calf. The whelp is swatted from the air and slammed down with a single bite in seconds. Zhou screams, "It isn't fair." Su Ping lifts one finger toward the clerk and says, "It isn't my contracted beast. That's one rental fee, please." Twin brothers Zhang Wen and Zhang Wu step forward, demanding 2 wolves for coordinated combat training. Their wolves clash with Xiao Qing and the little ones. A white light flares. Su Ping summons Xiao Qing, fur impossibly lustrous. The breeders gasp, a mutated pet beast. The twins' wolves move in perfect tandem, leaping to crush the little ones first while avoiding Shao Qing entirely. Insulted at being underestimated, Shao Qing erupts. Purple vines erupt from the cracked earth, their thorn-crowned tendrils snapping like jaws around a wolf's front paws. The twin wolves charge forward, but the violet vines tighten, wrapping around one animal's front paws and immobilizing it. Another's leg is snared, and within moments the first wolf collapses, its body stiffened by paralysis. The last two wolves scramble desperately, yet the vines lash out again, striking them and sending the pair tumbling to the ground, immobilized within 30 seconds. Su Ping watches the twins' flawless pack coordination, his gaze fixed on the trapped wolves as if beholding a hidden treasure. A slight tilt of his head and a faint smile curl his lips, and the concept of a new training method sprouts in his mind like a seed taking root in fertile soil. Zhou steps forward, fists clenched, and shouts a demand for a rematch against Su Ping's true beast. Su Ping raises a hand, nods, and replies that Zhou must heal first before they fight again, promising another bout and another fee. Jin Cheng, the Fire King breeder, strides over with relaxed shoulders and greets Su Ping warmly. He gestures toward a stack of exam papers, explains the breeder tests in detail, and slides a folded note across the table, a contact who can help game the exam. Su Ping leans in, listening intently, absorbing every word. Su Ping's phone vibrates, and the screen flashes Qin Xiaoshua's name. He answers, and a voice reports that Vice President Liu has arrived in person to deliver his certificate. Liu steps into the hall, a crisp blue badge glinting in his palm, and hands it to Su Ping. The badge rests against Su Ping's palm as Jin Cheng's face drains white, his eyes widening in recognition of the bald old man, a senior breeder, vice president of the entire province. Su Ping flips the badge over, frowning, and mutters that it's just cheap metal with no ceremony. Jin Cheng's jaw tightens, his envy palpable, as he swallows the bitter comment. The Breeder Association hall stretches like an airport terminal, rows of polished columns bathed in harsh white light. The hall's overhead speaker crackles, its metallic voice announcing Su Ping's achievement to the assembled crowd. Murmurs ripple through the audience as the city's neon billboards flicker Su Ping's name across the glass facade. Su Ping's communicator vibrates violently, the screen flooding with incoming calls. He slides the device into silent mode, his expression hardening as the flood of messages presses on his resolve. A bold price tag flashes across the screen, 5 million cultivation points. The cascade of calls continues unabated, each new offer striking his resolve like a relentless tide. Li Shu arrives, hauling a sack of wolf dung that releases a greenish cloud of odor. He dumps the waste onto a patch of soil, the foul odor scattering the wolf's hostility and coaxing a nearby pine to sprout fresh needles. Su Ping affixes a wooden sign to the gate, restricting sales to 1 wolf per week, and hangs a price list beside it. He steps back, the gate's wooden beams casting deep shadows, and finally buys a moment of silence. A delivery cart rolls into the gate area, unloading 20 sealed vials of Heart of Woods material and 4 crates of poison resources. Su Ping signs the receipt, the total flashing 4 million spent in a single transaction. In the medical room, Shao Qing gulps a whole wolfsbane aconite, his eyes widening as the bitter taste hits his throat. Purple veins pulse across his skin as the mutation analysis meter ticks down, confirming the venom's potency has risen to proficient. A parchment on the table details the wolf tobacco mystery. A wolf fed the plant matures its Heart of Woods days early but loses a rank. The Atlas entry glows, noting that wolf tobacco hides properties no one has mapped. Su Ping's eyes lock onto the gleaming mechanical core extractor, its price tag flashing 300 million. The cost hits him like a wall of steel and he recoils. Su Ping points at the bundle and commands Li Shu to grind the wolf tobacco by hand into a bucket of foul-smelling liquid. Li Shu's shoulders slump under the relentless grinding, his face etched with fatigue as he finally flees home, exhausted. A hollow screen flickers to life, displaying a new catalog entry that grants Su Ping telepathic communication. allowing him to hear his beast's thoughts directly. Silhouetted against the radiant runes, Su Ping stands alone, his newfound abilities converging into a single tamer. Among the assembled pack, Shao Qing raises its head as the heart of Wood's cultivation reaches completion. The digital counter climbs, adding 9 million to his account as the numbers flash rapidly. Qin Xiaoshua's voice crackles through his earpiece, warning that Dong Muyun covets his family's land. The urgent plea echoes, urging him not to sell. In her glass tower, Dong Muyun lifts her hand, conjuring a silver sky-swimming fish that glitters with spatial energy. The room shudders as spatial fluctuations intensify, far ahead of any prediction. With a swift gesture, Dong Muyun banishes manager Guan to a desolate island, then watches the fish glide silently. The flashback ends, returning to the present. Under the night sky, the Lingxi River shimmers as a spatial ripple tears open the water's surface. A tiny, snow-white figure steps through the ripple, revealing the infamous paperman of the necromancy system. The paperman lifts an unseen blade, its eyes narrowed as a crescent of metal element force arcs forward, slicing through the hovering wolf tobacco. Old Shah reacts instantly, thrusting a wall of verdant vines that surge forward to intercept the metallic arc aimed at him. In the next heartbeat, the paperman dissolves into a spatial ripple and vanishes. Su Ping narrows his eyes, the gears of his mind turning as he links the paperman's metal and space technique to Dong Muyun's looming space beast. He feels a looming threat pressing down, the ground trembling beneath his boots as an unseen presence approaches. Su Ping swivels toward his pack, and the eye of truth flares, unveiling Woodhead's heart of woods glowing with newfound proficiency. Realizing the danger, Qin Xiaoxue steels herself, knowing she must retrieve her wolf before the power escalates. The Shuhua City wolf den breeding base stretches across the urban district, dominated by a towering 5-meter forest wolf statue that watches over the gate. Sun Chaoju paces the courtyard, his shoulders hunched and eyes restless, as sleeplessness gnaws at him. He mutters about self-healing, the hardest skill to raise in a forest wolf, his voice low and frustrated. He doubts a fresh graduate could push the skill from beginner to proficient in 15 days, fearing the loss of his secret accelerated casting. Sun Chaoju's phone rings, the screen flashing Teacher Lu, and he glances at the caller ID. He answers, listens, and the sleek phone slips from his fingers, shattering on the floor with a crisp crack. Qin Xiaoxue waits at the gate, beaming brightly as Vice President Lu and a stern-faced Sun Chaoju climb out of a black car. Neither has ever seen Miss Qin smile so brightly, her joy lighting the gate. Woodhead, the proud elite giant, lies belly up in the reception room, his tongue lolling and paws curled toward the sky, exuding a carefree demeanor. Su Ping kneels beside the massive Woodhead, his fingertips gently threading through the wolf's jade-green fur as the creature's eyes half-close in content. While Sun Chaoju watches from a short distance, his expression calm and approving. Sun Chaoju raises his eye of truth, a brilliant sigh and flare sweeping across Woodhead's form, causing the wolf's body to stiffen as the vision reveals the self-healing ability and the freshly cultivated heart of woods already at proficient. Feeling his resolve drain away, Sun Chaoju bows his head in genuine admiration and places a small USB drive onto the metal table before Su Ping, his gesture solemn and respectful. Sun Chaoju opens the USB, and a holographic display projects his accelerated casting method, the incomplete Wanmu Wolf evolution path, and every page of his research for Su Ping to examine. The camera pans over a dimly lit laboratory filled with cages of snarling forest wolves, their eyes glinting in the low amber light. Sun Chaoju slides a sleek data tablet across the metal table, the screen flashing a schematic of a wolf-type creature labeled Future Evolution Test Subject, while Su Ping watches intently. Sun Chaoju's shoulders relax as the tablet emits a soft beep, silently earning Su Ping's respect, the quiet affirmation resonating between them. In a bustling magic capital street illuminated by lanterns, Qin Xiaoxue lingers after the crowd disperses, her silhouette framed by the neon blue sign of the academy, while Su Ping walks nearby, his gaze distant. She turns toward Su Ping, eyes bright, and whispers that Woodhead has mastered the 8 skills needed to begin the Crown Wolf Emperor path, an Emperor tier evolution. She lets out a sigh, hinting that Xiao Qing's mutation blocks the same road, then drops her voice to a conspiratorial whisper, her eyes flickering with secret knowledge. Su Ping leans against a stone railing by the river, the water rippling under a moonlit sky. He recounts to Qin Xiaoxue how Dong Muyun's desire for his land sparked a spatial ripple the night before, his fingers tracing invisible currents in the air as he speaks. Su Ping's expression shifts from curiosity to shock as his eyes widen, the sudden realization striking him like a flash. A secret realm, he declares, his voice trembling with awe and excitement. He gestures toward the river, describing the ownerless beast taming space of a dead, powerful tamer. Its heritage, beasts, and treasure sealed inside. A private domain whose fate now rests with its sole owner. Su Ping's cheeks flare a vivid crimson as he lunges forward, his hand gripping the half-strangled Woodhead, whose fur bristles in surprise. Su Ping darts toward the heavy wooden door, his voice echoing as he shouts over his shoulder that the beast tamer assessment will be ready in a year. The heavy door slams shut behind Su Ping, his footsteps resonating down the dim corridor. A close-up captures Su Ping as he slides a glowing USB drive into the sleek console. The monitor flickers, displaying the accelerated casting method as it loads. The holographic Atlas projects an offer to perfect the technique for 500 experience, promising a universal skill usable by any pet beast. The view shifts to a holographic display showing a forest wolf gnawing at a wooden trunk as part of the Wanmu wolf research. Roots sprout from the wolf's paws, leaves unfurl, and a faint green aura pulses as photosynthesis ignites. The creature collapses, its organs turning into dead timber. A red fail stamp flashes over each attempt. The holographic atlas projects a price tag of 1,682 experience to complete the broken evolution path. Su Ping watches his progress bar stall at 813, his brow furrowing as he realizes he needs far more experience, and fast. Soft, warm light bathes Su Ping's cramped apartment as he stares at an old photograph of old Sha, his friend's frail face. Determination hardens Su Ping's jaw as he vows to perfect the path and make old Sha the first Wanmu wolf, buying his oldest friend more years of life. A montage shows Su Ping pouring his savings into a crate of 25 small-form forest wolf whelp. The pack swells to 50, each pup yipping and tumbling as they chase glowing experience icons that float like fireflies around them. Night falls. Su Ping sits cross-legged on a tatami mat, steam curling from a teacup labeled Spirit Nurturing Ancient Tea. His aura glows from ordinary 5th to 8th rank. Each breath he draws sends rippling light across the room as he continues his meditation. A bright notification pops on Su Ping's holophone, announcing that Qin Xiaoxue has named him a permanent VIP. The message ends with a promise of free cultivation, and Su Ping smiles faintly as the screen's light reflects in his eyes. By the moon-silvered Lingxi River, a ragged paperman shuffles back and forth, its paper-thin limbs rustling in the night air. Su Ping watches the shuffling figure, then steps forward, extending a hand toward the paperman. He reaches the creature through telepathic whispers, calling its bluff, while the paperman hesitates. A shimmering ripple tears open the air, and the creature returns bearing a bundle of parchment, bowing low. "I want to become a true swordsman," it declares. Su Ping nods, accepting the apprenticeship. Su Ping's eye glows with the eye of truth as it scans the paperman. The creature's mutated form, metallic limbs, undead pallor, a perfection-level Jinj technique etched on its chest, and a sword soul mark pulsing, reveals the skill that lets it pass in and out of the secret realm at will. Su Ping slots a sleek module into the side chamber. Holographic swords flash as the training simulation ignites. The paperman executes a basic slash, then a draw cut, each move looping on a massive screen. A white-robed hero on the display resheathes a glowing sword. The world shatters in exaggerated special effects. The beast falls in a single stroke. The hero's voice trembles as he declares, Invincibility is truly lonely, his words echoing across the riverbank. Nearby, the jade-green whelp Xiao Qing sulks, arms crossed, watching the paperman's fervor with narrowed eyes. Su Ping resumes the creature's poison training, carefully offering a whole oleander leaf to the awaiting beast. The paperman's realm climbs to ordinary eighth, its mutated poison would heart-reaching proficient, a bright aura spilling outward. A surge of light erupts as 200 experience floods the catalog, pushing the total past 1,700. Su Ping's mind flashes with the completed Wanmu Wolf Path. The broken catalog drains pale, its colors fading to a hushed gray. The diagram rewrites itself into a 4-stage evolution chart, warning that photosynthesis must match sunlight absorption or the wolf will turn wholly to wood and die. Understanding dawns as Su Ping recalls Sun Chaoju's fatal mistake, realizing that flooding the beast with wood resources only hastened its death. The true key, he realizes, is balancing the two skills under sunlight, a revelation that brightens his resolve. The camera pulls back to reveal a massive digital storefront, its panels blinking lungs of nature, commander resource, 8M, and sun crystals, monarch tier, tens of millions as out-of-stock warnings. Su Ping's fingers tap a call button, dialing Vice President Liu with a decisive press. A holographic avatar materializes, informing him that the Breeder Association holds the needed resources but will not accept his money. Su Ping has never visited the hall. The Breeder Association hall stretches like an airport terminal, rows of service windows glinting under bright fluorescence, battle arenas humming with energy. Su Ping walks in, his steps echoing, and meets a buzz-cut youth, Zhang Yong, a forest wolf tamer. Zhang Yong's wolf nudges Su Ping's hand, its tail wagging docilely, and the two exchange easy smiles, assuming they are both here as model beast tamers for the class. Sun Chaoju spots Su Ping and sweeps him into a bustling classroom, introducing him to a circle of intermediate breeders. Zhang Yong watches from the hallway, his expression a mix of curiosity and surprise. Vice President Liu steps onto a raised podium, his voice resonating as he launches a lecture on wolf pet evolution. Su Ping leans forward, absorbing every word. The atlas glows green, granting him 250 catalog experience for pure comprehension. For the practical demonstration, tamers bring their pet beasts forward. Zhang Yong's wolf steps onto the platform, eyes bright, and the instructor assigns it to Su Ping. Su Ping's eyes widen as he discovers the young one 2 seats down is a registered intermediate forest wolf breeder. Su Ping stands at the podium, gesturing confidently as he breaks down the evolution paths of 3 forest wolves. Vice President Liu nods approvingly beside him, while the room of breeders looks up at the young man who seems to emit a faint, quiet glow. After the session, Su Ping receives a sun crystal free, courtesy of the association. He clinks glasses with Liu, laughing, and waves off Sun Chaoju's sleazy late-night invitation with a dismissive flick of his hand. A notification pops on Su Ping's holophone at home. He opens the package, a series of nested boxes, each smaller than the last, until a pebble no bigger than a fist rests at the center. From its top sprouts a 3-leaf clover, its tiny leaves shimmering with a faint green light. The magic capital glows under a perpetual twilight, skyscrapers stitched with neon veins. In a cramped academy dormitory, Qin Xiaoxue sits cross-legged on a tatami mat, eyes closed in meditation. A soft chime sounds. She opens one eye, a faint smile curving her lips as she reaches for the hovering hollow call from Su Ping. 2 of Qin Xiaoxue's roommates stand by the doorway, their eyes widening as they exchange a stunned glance, heads tilted in silent question, while Su Ping's holographic call flickers in the air. Su Ping hovers his hand over the crystal tablet, his fingers tracing the etched name, Stone of Creation, then presses a button, causing the stone to emit a pulsing amber light. Su Ping declares that the stone is an Emperor Tier peak resource, his voice low, then pauses, eyes narrowing as he considers its power. Finding the stone far too precious, Su Ping protests and slams the tablet shut, ending the call before anyone can refuse. Su Ping drops the stone into the core of his beast taming space, watching it sink into the glowing chamber. The previously matte black void shivers as a thin ribbon of wind curls through it, stirring the emptiness. A faint green aura spreads, and a rank indicator flickers from dim to ordinary ninth, prompting a thin smile to break across Su Ping's face. At the forest's edge, Su Ping stands before Old Sha, a massive wolf with fur dark as night, while the towering creature looms nearby. Su Ping calls out, "Old Sha, are you ready for evolution?" His voice echoing across the clearing. The wolf's green eyes flare, and its body stretches, towering over Su Ping as it prepares for evolution. With a guttural howl that echoes like a veteran's battle cry, Old Sha lifts its head toward a silvered moon. A sleek flying vehicle spirals down, its wings folding into a compact watch that snaps onto Dong Muyun's wrist. Dong Muyun steps into a glass-lined shower, water cascading like liquid crystal around her. She lifts a goblet of red wine, swirls it, then points at a holographic screen displaying data. Dong Muyun declares, "Tomorrow, bring the new manager." Her tone firm and purposeful. She commands crisply, "We'll break the boy," her voice cutting through the air with resolve. Old Sha lowers its massive paws into the loamy earth, its teeth biting the bitter bark as the forest watches. Time passes as the wolf chews, sunbeams striking its fur and sweat glistening on its back. Su Ping records each change on a floating data pad, his eyes never leaving the creature. A sudden glow spreads through Old Sha's coat, each hair strand shimmering green as photosynthesis ignites. The surrounding grass wilts, sucked dry by an unseen force. The skill bar on Su Ping's pad climbs automatically, numbers ticking upward without his input. Su Ping leans forward, eyes alight with determination. He declares, "Sunlight absorption, photosynthesis, and Heart of Woods can loop into a closed cycle," tapping the pad. His voice trembles as he adds, "Each skill feeds the next," a breakthrough weighing heavily on his shoulders. Dong Muyun strides into the grand hall, her posture commanding as she moves forward. The manager's voice booms, "We will crush the boy," as he gestures toward a hologram of exiled manager Guan on the screen. Su Ping watches the staged performance from a balcony, his expression unreadable. The manager slides a sleek contract across the polished table, the paper gleaming with promises of double price, a prime city plot, and a deputy director's chair. A thin line of threat glints in the air, a silent promise of danger. Su Ping watches the good cop, bad cop act unfold, his face remaining impassive. Su Ping slams his palm on the table, the impact echoing through the hall. Su Ping declares that a small theater troupe could never claim the rights to a wild secret realm, his voice cutting sharply through the air. Dong Muyun's composure cracks, her eyes widening in sudden alarm. She whispers, clutching the contract tightly, her voice barely audible. Su Ping points a finger at Dong Muyun, his accusation hanging in the air. He retorts flatly that his family could use a stepmother and someone to scoop wolf dung. Dong Muyun turns ice cold, her shoulders stiffening as she walks away, unable to force a breather under the association's protection. Crescent Island drifts on the mist-filled surface of West Dragon Lake, a thin crescent of rock jutting into the water. Exiled manager Guan stands on a balcony, sighing as distant construction cranes clank. His holophone buzzes. Su Ping's voice fills the air. Su Ping states plainly, "Job at Heart of Woods." Guan answers, "Okay," before his mind catches up. Guan steps into a cramped office, his eyes widening as he discovers his manager title means receptionist, security guard, accountant, and chef all at once. He drops a stack of paperwork, a look of stunned realization crossing his face. Old Sha's fur glows brighter. Sunflower seeds sprout around its paws, sunlight spring water bubbles from the ground. Mirrors tilt to focus a beam onto its back. A leaf-shaped emblem, lungs of nature, flares, pushing the skill to mastery. Each strand of fur shimmers like a luminous plant under a spotlight. The paperman stands before the reinforced stone wall, his palms tracing the intricate jinj technique, eyes narrowed in fierce concentration. A blade of golden light sweeps across the stone surface, etching precise symbols that flare briefly before fading. The young swordsman gasps, sweat beading his forehead, yet his stance remains unshaken, embodying stubborn resolve. The paperman's visage flickers, a stark black eye flashing over a silver diamond, his eyes reflecting the sudden shift. With a proud tone, the paperman declares, "Poker face," his voice echoing off the stone walls. Su Ping presses his forehead into his palm, eyes closed, the weight of the moment bearing down on him. The paperman unleashes 60 rapid repetitions before midnight, his body collapsing into a heap of sparks. The catalog lights flare, and the new skill icon, Rapid Recovery, glows brightly, completing the trio of basic beast tamer talents. Old Shah clamps a glowing sun crystal between his massive jaws, and a burst of white fire erupts outward, bathing the clearing. The photosynthesis pattern cracks, reaching the state of perfection. The evolution seal glows intensely, sealing the transformation. Holographic messages from Su Enyong flicker across the screen, alternating between concern for his son and stern warnings, ending with the line, "I'm coming home in a few days." Vice President Liu and President Qin Erlong sit across from each other, sipping rare tea as amber lantern light illuminates their faces. The two officials discuss the Wanmu wolf evolution, confident yet unaware that Su Ping has already succeeded. A low-angle shot titles the scene, Evolution Day. A forbidden circle of earth glows faintly with a green rune, pulsing with latent power. Old Shah, now covered in green fur, branch spines and leaf-like skin, lowers its massive head and swallows the glowing elf leaf, the act echoing the ancient rite of evolution. A thick light cocoon of emerald brilliance expands outward, engulfing Old Shah entirely as the creature is drawn into the luminous sheath. From its rooted stance, Old Shah releases a desperate howl that tears into the vaulted ceiling, the sound reverberating like a shattered bell just before the cocoon seals shut. Behind reinforced glass, Manager Guan has gathered guests. The Zhang brothers and their father, Zhang Lai. Their eyes widen, frozen in awe as the rare light of evolution pulses through the cocoon, bathing the chamber in a trembling green glow. The cocoon thins and cracks, revealing a towering shape 2 meters tall, foliage cascading from its back and emerald glowing branch horns. Old Shah has become the Wanmu wolf, a majestic creature of wood and leaf. Su Ping's eyes flare with a sudden surge of power as the bond with the Wanmu wolf feeds back, shattering his own inner realm. The rank indicator flashes to Common 10th, and the Eye of Truth displays the data. Wanmu wolf, Commandant 8th rank, Racial Potential Monarch 9th. A panel of new skills bursts onto the screen. Tree Prison, Mutated Wood Body, and others, each icon pulsing with vivid color. Icons for Language of Nature, Life Magnetic Field, Wolf King Majesty, and Heart of Woods at Mastery pulse rhythmically, each radiating vibrant hues. At Su Ping's command, Old Shah unleashes Tree Prison, causing massive roots to erupt from the ground. The empty meadow erupts. Soil flies, trunks sprout in rapid succession, and a 50-meter forest blooms in seconds, reshaping the ground into a tangled woodland. The wolf darts through the newly formed trunks, claws flashing, then vanishes as mutated wood body takes hold. Its form blurs, becoming a hunter the woods cannot touch, leaves swirling in its wake. Zhang Lai's narrowed eyes widen dramatically, pupils dilating as he watches the evolution of the Wanmu wolf. Director Zhang leans in and whispers that this is exactly the evolution their forest wolf troop needs. Zhang Lai steps forward, his posture rigid, and declares his command of the forest wolf troop. His voice carries resolve as he declares a long-term partnership, while the room hums with the energy of the newly awakened Wanmu wolf. He leans forward, voice tight, outlining the upcoming Elite Squad competition and its rewards. He snaps his phone to his ear and darts away, already consulting his superiors. The Legion base clings to a cliff edge deep in the forested mountains beside West Dragon Lake. Zhang Lai steps into the command tent and hands a report to his commander. A map is spread on the table as a voice declares that the forest wolf troop's survival depends on winning the competition. Old Shah's evolution injects 800 experience points into the catalog, pushing the entry toward level 3. The old wolf, now glowing with power, becomes Su Ping's lucky star. The airport terminal buzzes with faceless travelers. Su Enyong emerges from the arrival's gate, his coat billowing like a storm cloud. A flash of light erupts as a silver hovering supercar materializes beside him, drawing every anonymous gaze. He throws his hands up and shouts, "Super Shadow home!" Inside the car, Su Enyong spins a ridiculous tale about being a secretly powerful beast tamer. Su Ping, eyes narrowed, cuts the lie the moment it lands, and the two snap a "call me dad" bet with a sharp grin. The base's gate swings open. Manager Guan steps forward toward the open gate and offers a brisk nod to Su Ping, his posture conveying professional courtesy. Su Enyong furrows his brow and looks bewildered as he asks why the once-failing base is suddenly thriving, his voice echoing against the stone pillars. Su Ping raises his palm, a faint glow emanating as he summons Xiaoqing, now an ordinary 9th rank, to the courtyard, while Su Enyong watches in awe. A gentle spiritual aura from Su Enyong sweeps over Xiaoqing, causing the whelp's eyes to widen in surprised wonder. "Heart of Woods!" Su Enyong exclaims, his mouth open and eyes wide as the words echo across the courtyard. "Is it really the Heart of Woods?" he asks, his voice trembling with a mix of excitement and doubt. The revelation hits Su Enyong hard. His shoulders slump and his eyes widen as the success of the Heart of Woods settles in his mind. Su Enyong's mind freezes, his breath caught in his throat as the weight of the data settles over him. He bolts toward the backyard, his feet pounding the grass as he races forward with urgent determination. A massive Kylan-horned Wanmu wolf lunges, pins Su Enyong to the ground, and brushes his face with a swift swipe of fur. He lies there, feeling a surging life force pulse through the wolf, realizing his oldest companion's lifespan crisis has vanished. Su Enyong watches as his son gently strokes the evolved wolf's mane, the creature lowering its head in quiet gratitude. A new, unfamiliar pride wells up inside Su Enyong, a complicated fatherly feeling blooming as he watches his young one's achievement. The supercar bet pays out in pure Su Enyong fashion. He calls his son Dad. The wager collapses, and he demands a footbath, his voice tinged with playful triumph. Su Ping turns sharply and walks away without a word, his shoulders set and his gaze fixed ahead. Alone at last with old Shah, Su Enyong leans close, his voice low as he whispers into the wolf's ear. He murmurs the truth he will never say aloud to his son, that the boy has achieved what he himself, after all those years and all that money, never could.